I mean, I'm very high on us grabbing another wide receiver. The Raiders need another wide receiver. No matter what happens, we need to draft a wide receiver because if you look at our wide receiver room, we only have 5 wide receivers right now total on the roster. Okay. So outside of Trey Tucker, Davante Adams, and Jacoby Myers, we don't have any starter caliber wide receivers in that room. And so the Raiders need to absolutely go and draft in this. And I know it's Tom Telesco. Tom Telesco drafts wide receivers. And so if it's not a situation where somehow Brandon Ayuk came to the Raiders, we're definitely going to be drafting a wide receiver. That's a guarantee. And I'll tell you what, knowing Tom Telesco, if he drafts a wide receiver, it's going to be a 6'3", 6'4" guy, which we need anyway. The tallest guy in our entire wide receiver core is only 6'2", and that's Jacoby Myers. So we don't have a tall flight wide receiver. Davante Adams is not a speedster. He never has been. That's not his game. And that's a good thing in regards to the fact that his game's not predicated on speed because as he gets older, he's not going to be fast. But that's okay because his game was never predicated on being fast. But he will lose a step. I felt like he lost a little bit of a step, just a tiny bit last season. I was seeing him not get separation from guys like he normally does. So that's a little bit concerning. But even given that, he still got over 1,000 yards last year. So can't really complain. The biggest issue with Davante Adams is he's 31 right now, right? If we trade him this year, we're going to take a massive cap hit. If we trade him next year, we don't take as big of a cap hit. The problem is he's also getting a lot more money next year. So whoever we traded him would have to eat that money that they're going to pay him unless they can get him to renegotiate his contract. So if you draft him this year, the Raiders take a hit. If you draft him next year, it's going to be more difficult because whoever is going to get him is going to take a bigger hit. So technically speaking, his draft stock is never going to be higher than it is right now. So if you were to trade Davante Adams, you're never going to get more for him than what you would get this season. And you would get, without a doubt, a first-round draft pick. I mean, the Bears wouldn't give you their number 1 overall for him. But you could get a top 10 somewhere, mid-range somewhere, maybe, for Davante Adams. And then you would probably have to give a compensatory pick back to them, like maybe a next year's 4th round or something, right? And that's the way that you could do it. If you wanted to trade him, you would trade him now.